some equipment that you should have in your crossbow archery deer hunting blind. Probably the most important item if you're using or hunting out of a hub style blind, you want to have a center support for when you're not using your blind, especially if you're in the northern states or somewhere where you get snow. This will help protect the roof from collapsing when you're blind. This is adjustable in height. This end goes into a receiver cap. This is the receiver cap that the end of the steel square tubing fits into, and then it adjusts down to the ground. This is the base of it. It sits there and adjusts out. Another item that you might want to consider having in your ground blind. This is a moving blanket. Get them very inexpensive at Harbor Freight. Put it down, covers the ground. These are about 6 foot square. The thing with having something there is if there's leaves, it keeps the noise down. The second thing is if you have a young hunter with you in your blind and you know they get tired, sleepy, they can lay down on this. They're protected from the ground. If you hunt with a crossbow like I do, I use a Caldwell field pod that supports my crossbow the whole time I'm in my blind. I'm not sitting holding it. It's on the field pod, ready position to take a shot when needed. Now you can check out my video review on the Caldwell field pod by clicking the YouTube card here. Another item, I have a comfortable chair that I sit in. It swivels. It's a Comfort Sport chair by Smithworks. And again, I have a review video. You can check it out at this YouTube card. Another item that I use for crossbow deer hunting, or even when our turkey season or whatever is in while I'm archery hunting, I use a rangefinder. Comes in very handy. You don't need it so much for ranging your deer. I use mine a lot to check trees out from my blind, and I'll range them, and I know what, if a deer's in that vicinity, what my distance is. Again, you can check my video card here on why you should use a rangefinder archery hunting. Another item or items that you want to use while hunting in these blinds, especially if you have the black backing like it's in this one, you want to have black top on, not camouflage. Same way with a hat. your face mask. Those 4 items need to be black. Your hat, your face mask, a black sweatshirt, and then gloves for your hand. The reason we have the black background, I sit as far back into the blind as I can. This is a Barnett Ox 5 hunting blind. It's nice sized, but I sit as far back away from my window opening that I can. I blend in with this background. Now I have a side window open here, give me more light. But when that's closed up, all I have is my shooting window open. So when I'm sitting back here, all that's open is this window that you're seeing here in the front. That's how I have it open. And I'm back against. I'm in the black. It helps with the animals not to detect motion from you as quickly as if you were camoed. You would actually stand out more. Now, a few obvious items that I would hope if you're archery hunting that you carry with you. I have this is a doe call. Also have my grunt call. And if you're doing your own, want to do your own filming, you want to have your camera equipment. I use a DSLR camera here. I also have 2 action cameras that I use. One that I have out hung on a tree, and I have one on the crossbow for the bow cam. One other item that I have in the blind with me are a pair of binoculars. The reason I have the binoculars is here in Pennsylvania we have antler restrictions. And not all the time can you tell if you see a buck that it might be a legal shooter for you. Here in Pennsylvania, I need to have 3 points to a side in my wildlife management area where I hunt. Not all the time can you see what you consider your dog killers. That's where your binoculars come in handy. If you see a deer coming and it's not close to you at the time, you can use your binoculars and check him out. Check out the horns. Make sure it's legal. And then you can be ready and hopefully he comes in range for you. That's a good reason to always have a good pair of binoculars. So I'm able to bring, when it gets temperatures drop, as we get more into as you get more into November and for the end of our archery season, early archery, and then our main gun season comes in after Thanksgiving. If the temperatures are cold, I can use a Mr. Heater in this blind and keeps you nice and toasty. Does not affect the deer. Again, here's another video. Check this card that I did last year with the heater and deer. Never bothered them one bit. Those are the items, besides the obvious items, some other ones that other items that I use and have in my blind and feel it helps make things quieter and makes me more comfortable to stay in the blind all day. So hopefully these few little tips were helpful to you. So till next time, shoot straight, tight groups. So if you want to learn more on DIY hunting projects and crossbow hunting, start today by hitting the round icon subscribe button, and you will keep up to date. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.